And we live. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. Not gonna happen in this video, but that's okay. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Besh. I'll say what's up to her.
Hello, like the video, subscribe. This will be an interesting discussion, so forgive us in advance.
Please forgive us. We might as well just pray right now. Lord, please forgive us for what we're about to do in this video. Just know that you created us to be entertainers, and that's exactly what we're here to do today. So we want to make sure that in terms you don't, forsake us for trying to just be funny. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. There we go. We done prayed. Like the video. Like the video. Hey, I have some tea about the fight. Um, Sherry, please share it in the comments because I'll read it. Please share it in the comments. Is it the same tea that Latrice put out there saying that Carlos and had his production team edit that entire fight?
DM Rocks, you need to be starting a blog.
You really
Okay.
do.
You need to be
If you have one, drop your link in the description box so I can plaster it.
yes, I will share it as well too, because you be having all the tea. Every time
We
I see
sure
DM
do.
Rocks, I know we're gonna know
We
something.
be meeting everybody. You be yes. We need you up here. Like, please come up here. So yes. But anyways, y'all, this is Belle Collective. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on the episode. So the episode opens up with Selena going over to Taste, which is Latrice's business that she's going to be opening this episode. And Selena's going to be the bar manager, and she wants to create a signature drink for Taste and everything. And she goes up to Latrice, who is working. She's talking to other employees of the restaurant, trying to get them all on the same page for the event. And she tells Selena that somehow, and this was production, they put Glenn's birthday party the same day, so they're going to have it at the Tasty. So she has to also entertain that in her establishment as well, and she's not on board with that. They also talk about, how a certain relationship was so Gucci. And Selena says, they haven't communicated since New Orleans, but she's hoping that they'll be okay once the launch happens and everything. And, that's pretty much it. She makes the signature cocktail drink. It's one of those ones that steams with a strawberry on the side. And she said it's good. Is this restaurant open? I want to be nosy, but I don't. But I'm sure it's a real legit. She has legit businesses, so I think that this is also going to be legit as well. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about that opening scene and Selena being the bar manager and they had to throw Glenn's birthday?
Whatever. You got to do something for Glenn's birthday. That is fine. But I just like seeing Black women uplift each other. That's what this show is supposed to be about, being that they are Southern Belles in a collective. Um, you could tell that Selena naturally knows these women and fits in with these women. And I'm not putting her against Soguchi at all. I'm just saying that they definitely align with each other. She opened up a bar. She gave her friend a job. I'm not mad at it.
Wait, what? Oh,
I'm not
wow.
surprised because I was telling you last night, James, that little girl who jumped into the fight, it looked like they edited. Like you could tell there was a cut scene and they didn't show us everything. Because there was a little girl in orange who was not part of the collective that
Mm.
was cursing at Latrice and them. And I'm like, huh. And being that they are from Mississippi, you would assume that people's family is there. I'm not surprised.
Wow. Not her deceased nephew's phone being at Akeisha's house, which led to this altercation. Oh, I need them to go into detail. I need to see some interviews. I need to see it all. Damn. Okay, so thank you, DM Rocks, for that, and feel free to always drop the T because that one we'll get to that in a minute now because that makes sense now. It does. It makes a lot of sense. So Marie and all five of her children go over to go see the bishop, and they're seeing the bishop because Marie's saying that they need the Lord now that someone has shot up there. So there was weapons too. Oh, okay, it got real gutter real quick. But she says, they haven't been at their home and, they're not knowing what to do. And they just want to, put their minds at ease and everything. The kids want to feel safe. Meanwhile, Bishop looking like this. And we just like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on right here. Oh.
I let me say, listen, I respect the bishop for having the church and helping people to have spiritual faith and healing. However, comma, the bishop looked like a PIMP, okay, with his hair. I could have sworn in one scene we got him with what looked to be like them beauty supply wigs that your great auntie will put on before you go to Sunday service or dinner. And then in the other scene when she got baptized, looked like he wore his own hair, but you could tell he did him a nice blowout. And then he just did the pressing curl. He bumped it. He
That
did
ain't
what he
even,
had to
listen
do.
to this. That ain't even the same length.
Let me tell you this.
Look,
That's a blowout, James. He was
them
wet
is
because he
them
was
is
dipped
roller
in the
set
blood of
them is,
Jesus.
yeah, them is roller set curls. And then this is S curl.
That
I'm
is a blowout in a I'm James. You could do so much with black hair. This is what makes us great. However, comma, I don't want my bishop looking the way that he looked. And then the fact that Marie is a member of his church just does not help his cause. It does not help
with her having
his
finger waves. No, it does
she
not. It does
coming,
not.
not the finger waves. The problem I have, you accepted members of the church whose thighs don't match their rear ends. I can't. Not Snoop Dogg when he plays
Get
up.
your husband. Get your husband. Get your
We
husband.
were
I'm not doing this with y'all today. I am
no.
not doing this with y'all
Listen,
today.
I'm gonna stick beside him. Okay, I'm gonna stick beside my
You're
husband in
supposed
this
to.
one. I'm gonna stick beside him
He
when
do
we
gotta look like
watch.
Snoop Dogg though. He does.
He does look like
Yes,
Snoop.
he does. Yes.
Oh God.
Yes, he looked like Snoop Dogg.
He look, it's giving PIMP. Thank you, Joseph Felton. I gotta stick beside my husband on this one because he was just walking by when I was watching this last night, y'all. Where I say he stopped and hollered. We kept rewinding it. Like, why? What got me is he had the pressing curl with the bump. You could tell it was a good roller set. But why is the preacher wearing his sunglasses in the church? It's one thing to have sunglasses on the side, but why are you in your study shades in church?
I'm just so confused. I'm just so confused. I mean, I've never seen anything. I have seen some crazy things in my day. Somehow I just missed all of this. I don't know. I don't know if that's a wig. I don't know if that's his hair. I don't know if he does a roller set with a shower cap at night before he go to sleep. I don't know what this is, y'all. But
It's
when I
not dry though. His hair is well moisturized. So at the very least,
at, at the no at the baptism, it was very much given oiled and moisturized. It probably needed to get blow dried out a little bit,
he
but
put that motions in there and
that
he kept it going.
luscious pink moisturizer that do it every time. Don't
I
you can't tell me
cannot.
that ain't what that smell like.
I
But
know his hair smell
anyways,
good.
but speaking of baptism, let's move on because we got to get past the scene. But speaking of baptism, though, he actually suggested that Marie get baptized, and she's all there for it. She wants to do it. She wants to come, forward when she was a little girl. Her
He
grandma,
could have read her something out of Psalms. What? Like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to tell the preacher how to preach because I don't preach it as quiet as it's kept. I ain't been to church in a smooth decade. But I will say this. If I went to the pastor for some help, some guidance, usually they pray over you, read you a psalm. You know, this man mentioned Job for a second and said, "Dipper, let's dip her in the water." That's not
that you
per
don't
se
get
how baptism works.
yeah, that ain't how you see. No, at first glance of looking at this pastor, I don't know how them kids kept it straight. Well, daughter couldn't even keep a straight face. They zoomed in to Marie, but there was a moment where Zoe was trying not to laugh.
You can tell that kids don't go to that church.
Yeah, and they just zoomed in on Marie, but I would have fell out laughing as soon as he walked over. I would have been like, "Y'all gotta be playing with me right now, Carlos. Who is this man? Carlos, did you do this? Because it's got your name written all over it. It looked like you took a page out of Tyler Perry's book. It really do.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry,
God, he does look like a Tyler Perry
it
character.
do. It looked like a Tyler Perry
James.
character. That's why I was like, Carlos, did you do this? And this ain't this real man. This ain't a real bishop. I don't want to disrespect the man because he might be great at what he does. Everybody's entitled to have their own style. Everyone's entitled to do what they want to do with their hair. Everyone's entitled to have realistic curls. Everyone can do that. I'm not trying to do, but it was shocking coming across TV because I wasn't expecting. Most bishops I know are bald, so that's just kind of one of the situations where
I don't care. Y'all could put me in hell. Y'all could cancel me. The pastor got hosed. He looked like he got them, and I know he smelled like a freshly burned Newport cigarette and every delicious black hair product that you could think. I know he smelled like it. I know he smelled good and just like a freshly burned Newport. That's how I feel. He
you're
had the glasses on in church. It's
the
over.
lustrous pink moisturizer. I got it. Okay, we're gonna move on from here. Is there anything else you want to add about Marie? Him suggested Marie getting baptized. Anything else say about the kids? Anything else like that?
The son in the red looked like he might be who they need to talk to get to the bottom of why the house was shot up. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say.
I was gonna say it was that oldest one based on what happened to the child's mother. That's
No,
what
I don't.
I
I
heard.
don't think it's that situation. The one in the red, the younger boy in the red, he looks like someone that they need to talk to get clues, context clues, whatever the hell you call it, to figure out who shot them. And I didn't understand why her sons had to come to church. One of them looked like he was not sober. I know he wasn't. You
He
had
couldn't
to
even the
get
one in the red that couldn't get his words together.
yes.
Yes, yeah. Black men, I want y'all to stop doing this. Stop teaching your kids to talk like this. Speech therapy is invented for a reason. I know, and in some counties it's free. So I need y'all to stop talking like this. This does not behoove us as black men because they already think that we're uneducated as it is, and this is all we do is look like we're incompetent when we're sitting. I need us to stop doing this. Enunciate your words. Speak. I know a lot of us, our tone of our voice gets in the way in our accents a lot of the time, which is why we have speech problems. And a lot of that is taught between of whoever your pathology was from. My family does it. I'm not, my family, we're guilty of it as well, which is why I did 3 years of speech therapy. I still want to go back to speech therapy because I still struggle. So, yes, I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of saying I was in speech therapy. I didn't, a lot of people say you didn't need it because I talk like this. Even when she knew me in high school, I still talked like this. And people used to hate me in high school because I would use words that they had to go look up. I've come a long way, y'all. I really have. But I used to love to do it. But yeah, we need to do better as a people. Just saying. But moving on from there, Latrice is at the house. I mean, not Latrice. Letitia's at the house cooking. She put a can of corn in the skillet, and she has too much oil in her pan for fried pork chops. Hold on. A bit stay winning. Hey, baby, thank you for coming. I am a downtown South as my family, and we speak very good proper English, so that's
I
the
was
rest.
going to say my family's from the deep south, and most of them do speak well, or educated. You could be any way you want to be and speak a certain way. I just think some people just be speaking a certain way to speak a certain way. Hell,
Well, no, I think it is. No, I agree with that because my family lives down south. A lot of them speak very well as well. I'm not saying that's everybody, but it seems to be more common with us. And when we get on TV like this,
it
and
is. No, you are right there. It is.
that's what all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's everybody, but what I will say is that it's something we need to stop doing as a people and learn how to open our mouths and speak. That's the whole reason why we have speak in the first place. But to talk about Letitia's meal. Mrs. Best the one that pointed out to me because I really wasn't paying that close attention. I didn't even.
No, no, no. I'm gonna be good, cause
No, no, you need to say what you said last night. Stop doing this to me.
I just want to know. Now, if that was actual corn that she herself grated the corn down and put it in the skillet, fine. Maybe she's gonna add something to it, do a little festive thing. But the meal itself stressed me out. First of all, when you fry stuff, you need to give things room. You can't fry everything close together. The more you got to give it room. She had what it looked, I don't know if those were steaks or pork chops. I don't know what the hell it was, but she had them so close together in that skillet. She was frying everything. I'm like, why is the corn in the skillet? And then I'm looking at the baby. I'm looking at
This part.
Letitia's. The corn was clearly from the can. It was clearly from the can. My thing is, Letitia tried to blame her weight issues on PCOS. I have PCOS. I am not the largest woman myself. Okay. Letitia, your weight issues is because you frying everything, including the corn. Fix it. It's okay to bring home KFC. I would have rather you put some KFC, some Church's chicken, some Popeyes. I would have you rather put that onto the table. What the hell was that?
It was just, first of all, her fire was up too high based on how thick those pork chops were. Like,
Jesus
first
Christ.
off, like she was cooking them way too fast. I was concerned that they were not going to be done by the time they were going to eat.
And then they was sitting there having this long ass conversation while the pork chops is frying on high and shit. And they having this long conversation. I'm like, I understand pork chops can be thick, but looking at the density within those, like,
She had
girl,
too much oil in the pan, and then like it was up too high. It was like, no, you need to turn that fire down some so those pork chops can really out. When y'all fry pork chops like that thick, that fire does not need to be that high. Like that, them pork chops need to cook. Like,
I don't
oh,
even eat pork. I haven't eaten pork in over a decade. But when I did eat pork, my God, there are other ways you could cook it too. I'm just looking like, girl, Letitia, don't cook on camera no more. Is this their house, James?
no,
Do
it
they
wasn't.
live
I was
there?
about to get to that next. That looked like Airbnb pots and pans. Anybody who has ever stayed in an Airbnb, y'all know you only get 2 skillets and 2 pots and a boiler. That's I'm telling you. Yes, over medium. Yep, exactly. So you know this. They were absolutely over medium heat. That was up.
Mhm.
She had it at least to well above medium, like well above that.
And
But
if she
yes,
was cooking with utensils, ain't nothing wrong with it. But I don't believe that that was their
I
house.
don't believe that's their house either. I think that's
Why
another
are you
Airbnb.
stirring corn in a cast iron skillet with a fork?
Yeah. Where is your big spoons? I don't think they have. And
Letitia.
no, and this thing proves it because now that we done roasted them, we can talk about it. So everyone knows Glenn quit his well, according to the show, quit his job because he wants to go to entrepreneurship. So Letitia brings him over a folder with some sort of business plan portfolio, and Glenn's like, Letitia, what you doing? Like, why are you doing this? Like, I'm not ready. And it was like, what you mean you're not ready? You made it seem like you quit your job, you bought a box truck, and you already had a plan. So you mean to tell me that you did all this and you ain't got no business plan, and here Letitia is coming to save you?
Letitia ain't saving nobody. All she did was print out some papers that she probably had an app or a website generate on her own. She probably used a template. I don't see much of what Letitia's doing herself either. I don't understand why this couple is acting like they still struggling for the next dollar, which I don't judge and do not fault them for that. But why y'all acting like that when you've been on this show season after season? You're getting paid. You have the opportunity to get brand deals. You have the opportunity to monetize on social media and YouTube as well. Why are they not taking advantage of them being on a show since the first season? That's what I don't understand. It looked like, I'm sorry, it just looked like they the type that will come into a lump sum of money and instead of thinking, maybe we should buy a house or invest, let's go get some clothes, babe. What's the newest pair of Jordans we could buy? That's what Letitia and Glenn give. Because if you got to fry pork chops and you don't know how, you frying pork chops with a fork and all types of crazy stuff. But you supposed to be someone who's about money and all of these different things. I wish they'd just be who they are in real life because we could tell that they're not the richest, and that's okay.
I keep
But
telling
stop
you.
pretending like you an entrepreneur and like you guys are just these big successful business people.
I keep telling y'all, there's nothing I would ever fake on reality TV. Granted, the opportunity to be on reality TV. I drive a Honda. My Honda is going to be seen all over them cameras. I'm gonna drive it like it's a Benz. I
And
promise
it's
you.
probably gonna last forever, that
It
Honda.
better. After all the money I just put into it, it better. When I
These
tell
reality
you,
stars could be so much more relatable if they would just be who they are. Letitia and Glenn are not likable because they always trying to be something that they not.
well, but see, and this is the thing. This was the premise of the show. They were supposed to be money couples. We knew they didn't have no money based on season one and what Letitia had on her head that first season. And like I'm just saying, Letitia went and flipped and got this lot of business offices, a suite of business offices. Then she bought a Porsche. So that's how you know her priorities. And then we didn't even see her house until this season, which we're still questioning if this is her house based on the very little kitchen flatware and appliances and everything like that that they had
It
up in.
looked empty in there.
Yeah, it looks like another Airbnb. It really did. Or maybe one of those houses where you know how you can get temporary housing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, one of those, like a temporary house. Temporary housing has a little bit more better than Airbnb. I forgot what
They
that place.
need to just show their house, okay? Because Star and Sky, we done seen there that they live in a mobile home. Nobody's just living in a
No,
mobile
I
home to
looked up
live in a
her
mobile home.
business. She does.
It's
She is a
more.
Bell's bondsman. I looked up her business. She is a Bell's bondsman. I'm gonna share next week. I'm gonna share it because I don't have the link readily
That's
available right
more
now.
interesting, though. I'd rather see her
Hmm.
leading her bail bondsman business than these bullshit ass brunches.
Yeah, yeah, she's a bail bondsman. Yeah, I've seen her shit, so I know it's legit. I don't know why she won't talk about that because actually, that her and Selena actually, because Selena's one as well, so they can actually come together and talk about the struggles of being a black woman in that kind of business. Because I don't know if it's very popular. I mean, if y'all know if it's very popular for black women to be bail bondsmen, please let me know because in Phoenix there aren't very many. I'm gonna just let you know that now, which is sad, by the way. Yeah. Selena has one. Yeah, that's yeah. So, but anyways, yeah. So Letitia's giving Glenn this, portfolio. Say you need to jump on in. Time is money. We got bills to pay. We got all this stuff to do. And as we said, word on the curb was this fool got fired from his job. That's what the word on the curb is. Allegedly, he got fired, and I believe 100% of it. But until then, yeah. Yes, there are a lot of them in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, good, good. Because in Phoenix, there's not very many of them. So I'm glad to hear that there's a lot of them. I'm very happy to hear that. Yeah, I don't know any either. So that's what's and it's actually really a good business to get into. I don't have the patience. I don't because there is a lot of risk and a lot of reputation that can go about it. But the power to take someone's home from them is absolutely crazy to me anyway. But yeah, he is a clown. That man, yeah, we're gonna get into it in a minute. That man is definitely a clown. Like I don't know how anyone takes him serious. I don't. So it's the day of Marie's baptism. We have Gucci there, or Sophia Show, Shantae, whatever she want to be called, and we have Letitia there as well. Marie's, getting baptized. I'm not gonna do this, man. Where he at? I'm not gonna do his, soliloquy of his speech and his scriptures and everything like that because I don't want to disrespect religion like that. I just don't. But all I just want to know is that it was a very comical scene. I'm sorry I have to say it like that. And it was, something that if this were real, we are proud of Marie for taking this initial step because I think baptism is a beautiful thing. I really do. But it was just hard for me to sit here and not think about first.
James, that Marie is full of shit. We could take baptism seriously while calling her out. Okay, if you really want to get baptized, that's usually something that is well thought out. She only is getting baptized because the bishop suggested it as a way to, I guess, I don't know, wash the bullet holes from her mind. I don't know, but yeah, I'm not religious. Like I said, I don't go to church. Ain't going no time soon. Ain't been in over 10 years, but they kind of in some ways almost made a mockery of it. Good for you, Marie. We still don't like you. That's how I feel about it.
Ooh, Lord, them old. He got them, girl. When I tell you, he got them old roller set curls. I cannot.
This is not the way to get people back into church if that's what he was hoping by being on this show. This is not. You see how you do it with the pictures? He knows every time I get angry, every time I see that damn photo. In the name of Jesus, fix it. Who told him he could do his hair that way? Who told him? You mean to tell me in my pastor's free time, we got a 9 a.m. service, an 11 a.m. service, and Bible school, and he has to figure out how to make his hair last through all of that? Ain't no way in hell I'm taking them seriously.
I just try to see him hooping and hollering
He
and
was singing the
shaking,
church hymns while
shaking.
baptizing
Right.
her and
I try to
all
see.
these,
I just try to
ain't
see him
gave her no advice.
shaking that hair. I just like
He
I
ain't gave
don't
them
know.
no advice that they could actually use. All he did was come up with some sunglasses, a press and curl, and dipped her in the water in the blood of Christ. But he has not given her any like advice. He barely prayed.
He did. I
I
mean, at least like the baptisms, like yeah. I mean, I've only been to three. I went two of my friends, and then a guy I was seeing. He invited me to his daughter's baptism, unbeknownst to me, because I didn't know that's why I was there for. I didn't even know he had a child. So that was another situation, and I don't want to go down that because I know somebody been asked to go down that rabbit hole. Do I have time to go down that rabbit hole? Yeah, I do. So yeah, I went to a baptism for a guy I was seeing. It was his daughter's baptism. I didn't know he had a child at the time, so it was awkward for me to show up in this lily white church. Um, with only maybe five to seven people in there, and the pastor talking about, oh, we're gonna baptize a little baby today, and we thank you all for coming and everything like that. And I'm getting there late, and I'm like, oh my god, okay, I'm here for a baptism. I'm like, that's not what he said. So he's sitting right here. So I'm sitting at the end of the pew. He's sitting next to me. Next to him is his ex-wife, and then in front of her was their baby. And then there was a guy sitting here who I thought was the actual husband when I walked in there. And then the first lady, and then whoever that was. And I'm sitting up there. The guy's name was Adam. Shout out to Adam, y'all. I don't know where he is in life, but his name is Adam. And I remember him saying, "We're going to grab today." So the mom brings the baby up to the pastor and everything, and Adam is still sitting down next to me. And when the pastor realized Adam was there, he go, "Adam, get up here." And I didn't hear it at first. And Adam didn't get up, so I'm thinking the other guy's name is Adam too. So I'm like, okay, yeah, Adam, going up there with your baby. Y'all know I'm ignorant, so y'all know that Adam be calling you. So when the pastor turned around and actually pointed at Adam, it's like, Adam, get on up here. I said, oh, and it took everything in me, y'all, not to act no damn fool up in this church and cuss this man out. But one, inviting me to your baby's baptism. But first of all, I've never even met your child. Didn't even know you had one. So that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know what baptism is supposed to be because the ones that I have been to have not all been. There was probably one out of the three that I've been to that was a great experience. The second one, not so much. I'm not going to go into that story because that person does watch me. So I'm not going to go into their experience. But this one, no, that one was kind of like I got bamboozled, y'all. I could have been on TV.
That's why it's good you know with this person because that's a red flag. Because just a couple months ago, you was clearly laying down with a woman, sir. What's going on? What's really good? Oh God, I just left the church. Just leave in the name of Jesus. I have to go.
It really is a great story. That was one of the most embarrassing times of my life. Like, and mind you, I'm just starting to date men at that because I was 27. I was just starting to date men,
The
and
man named after somebody in the Bible
right,
telling
and
lies.
I knew he was religious, and I kind of felt like that's what I wanted at that time because I was like, okay, this is new to me. I still want to be close to God. I'm a God fearing man, so I'm still learning what I like. Even today, I'm still learning what I like. But I just remembered, girl, I was so mad at him. I was like, don't ever call me again. Like, just lose my number because that was some bullshit.
I'd be mad if we trying to date and get to know each other and you inviting me to church. Now, I know for some people that's important,
Yeah, and that's how
but
I looked at it.
but come on now.
That's how
I'm
I
just,
looked at it. I looked at it as, okay, this is important. He wants me to come to church, but he goes, hey, why don't you come to church with me on Sunday? And I had to work that Sunday, so I got there extremely late. But he said, don't worry about it because we'll be in church till about 4 o'clock. So don't worry about it.
damn.
And yeah, and so yeah, we was at church up until 4 o'clock for the baby's, baptism.
Yeah.
Ain't that
See,
crazy?
Marie's baptism,
Hmm.
it was just chaos in my opinion. But you know what I will say? I hope that going forward that she really does try to live her life in a way that is better and that serves at the very least her family positively. But I
Mhm.
also can't help but point out it's interesting that she didn't think to put her kids into therapy, being that she owns a whole mental health facility and her career is in that. I'm not saying she has to put them in therapy over church, but you can do both. My mama did that to us. She
You
always,
would
if something
think
happened, she made me
something
go
as
talk.
traumatic. Yeah, go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She made me talk to the pastor when I got with my husband, thinking I was having sex. I was. But she made me talk to the pastor and then she also put me in therapy. So I'm just saying, like, you can acknowledge your religious belief and also make sure that your kids are getting the proper mental health care if you're really concerned about your house being shot up or at. Because first she said somebody drove by and shot up her house. Then she said there was a shooting in her house. Marita said a couple different things. That's what I'm noticing also. So I don't know. I'll
Yeah, I
see.
wasn't paying that close attention because I still think that there's still something's not very put together right with her anyway. So I'm not really paying that close attention. But you would think that therapy or at least a family therapy session would be better in this circumstance to let the kids understand what
That's
was really
trauma. She claimed the little girl's room got shot up, but the
yeah,
little girl talking about she just want to go back to her room. I
right.
said, well, that's interesting. If the room was shot up, that she would want to be in the room. Marie is not telling us the whole truth about what really went down. I'm not trying to be mean. I don't wish harm on her or her kids, but don't lie to us about something, then go to church. And
Mhm.
pieces of your lie is coming out while you in church.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I that was the first thing when she first said this on the show that I told Mrs. Best. The first thing I thought of was when that baby mama died. That was the first thing I thought of because they never figured that out. And it was really interesting to me because of how sad that story was because the baby was actually in the car when the mother was killed. So it was like, okay, y'all still have not solved that. And we still don't
Her
know.
family, I can understand that because her family basically they do stuff that puts their loved ones in harm's way. Clearly they're
Mhm.
attached to some type of negativity,
Yeah.
but this isn't like that situation. She lied about something because she went from saying the house was shot at to people was shooting in the house to all these different things, and her kids, they, I'm not saying I know them, but they did not seem that traumatized. And the little girl in there was trying not to laugh, the baby.
Because she saw this like me. Because
Right.
every time
And
I
the
see her,
other
she be
boy,
talking
the
about my
other
head.
sons, they wouldn't look at the man's head. And then one of them was in there high, looking like he's a suspect. So Marie, wha-
No, but what I would say is this: is it's just I don't know about Marie. But the cousin that we saw in the beginning of the season, she ended up showing. What was her name again? She got one of them color purple names. Nettie.
she does. Okay.
Nettie shows up, and so Gucci and Letitia go to introduce themselves to her, and um, she was all like, "Yeah, I had to show up for my cousin. I know I ain't been here, but this, I couldn't miss this." And Marie said, I was so happy you came. This means a lot to me. And I said, okay, well, I'm glad to see, But Marie, where was Becky Sue and the other cousin? Where were they at? Is that her name? Sue, Becky Sue, and
Probably the
um,
shooters.
I'm trying to think of what was the other lady's name, the other cousin's name. One of them, the cousins with the jumpsuits. Where was they at? Because I want to see why they didn't come. See, that's what I'm saying. Family, y'all messed up. She already put you and exposed y'all on camera. Y'all might as well just go ahead and make it, the best. But you are so funny, James. You gotta show more of this side of you. But what do I do? I'm still this is how I am every time I'm on here. Like I don't think I'm any different.
No,
No.
you be a little bit more reserved. You a little looser today.
Well,
Must have got good sleep.
that and yes, and I'm on vacation. So yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes, I'm on
Look at
vacation.
that. Won't he do it?
Yes, absolutely. So, but anywho, y'all, that was pretty much the end of that. We now go over to the opening of two businesses, which I think is absolutely stellar. That's how you know you got good money. I'm telling y'all, Cliff got colonizing money. I'm telling you, from slave days like Smith and Wesson, and I ain't gonna say the other one that would get my channel shot down. I can't say that one. But I'm telling y'all, he had descended from that. I promise you. Because they got all kind of old ass money to be over the two businesses that are right next door to each other, literally just a walk up the damn stream. So Tamber is hosting, and I said, "Why, Latrice? Why in God on God's green earth, the birds and the bees
Why
and
is everybody hosting or having Tambra host this
her
season? I know
hostation?"
it's what she does for a living, but I'm just like, it's so random.
I wasn't moved at all. First of all, I'm not moved by someone who says, "Oh my God, she opened two businesses." Like, who does that? I don't have time for that. Like, let's get to it. Like, there's nobody else.
Girl, this the season finale. Tambra ain't shown us nothing of
Not
her
a
life.
thing. Why am
Nothing. We
I still here?
saw Damon try to feed the babies some food that the baby wasn't ready to eat yet, and that was about it. Like they didn't show nothing of Tambra. Nothing.
I guess Sarah said I had enough with y'all. Y'all done bought this man. I got a restraining order against and shit on this damn show mentioning this Marie and shit. I guess Tamara said she ain't doing it no more. So that means she'll come back next season. She don't come back next season. But Selena gets there. She shows up with her fiance, and two out of the three triplets are there as well. And JJ shows up in this old 1949 Chrysler. And I'm just like, JJ gotta have a moment. When that man flipped out that red carpet, I said, see, this is what we be talking about. Can't give black people no money. I'm telling you, you can't give black people money because this is what we do. This is what we do. This is
I
ignorant
don't
shit.
think nothing was wrong with what they did. The problem had with this is why are you doing that as someone else's event
That's the
that is
problem that I
meant
have.
to be celebrating someone else? Like they knew the event was going to be acknowledging Glenn's birthday. They knew the event was to acknowledge Latrice and Cliff opening two businesses. So why are you trying to steal a moment and need to have the red cab rolled out for you and your wife's dentures? I don't understand it. I genuinely don't understand it. I don't like JJ. He showed his whole ass this season, and
I
this
don't
like
like them either. So yeah,
solidified it. But just show up to an event.
yeah.
So you gonna show up to an event now? You could be in the same room as Selena if you could take the spotlight from everybody.
Absolutely. So they walk in. Selena and Gucci say hi to each other, but it's very stiff and very awkward. JJ goes and kisses two out of the three triplets because I'm never gonna remember these girls' name. I'm just not, y'all. I am so sorry. I know I'm supposed to remember these girls' names, but I don't. I know it's Sky,
It was
Star,
Sunjay and
Sun.
Star that were there, but for some reason production put Star and Sky. It was Sunjay. It was one
They
of the
look
two.
alike. Them girls look exactly like JJ, and I'm surprised they're not triplets. I know one is older and it's two twins. I got all that, but they look like triplets. They look the exact same. Just two got gaps and one don't. That's just
That
what
is the only difference.
that's the only difference of what I see when I look at them. They got the same head shape. They got the same eyes. They got the same mouth, the same nose. They don't look nothing like they mom at all. So yes. So he goes and kisses them. They both said hi, and then they pull Selena outside to tell her that the dad spoke to us. It's still awkward and everything. But she goes, "But what about Shantae? Did she say anything to you?" And she go, "Yeah, she spoke. And it's a little stiff, but she did speak." And they said, "Well, did Dad speak to you?" And she says, "No, he didn't say anything to me. I don't need him to." And they were like, "Well, maybe he didn't see you." They said, "This bright ass." She said, "This bright ass pink I got on." Yes, he saw me. Of course he did. And it's like, Selena, you didn't even have to have a pink. You could have had on some. You could have had on some bland brown pajamas. He still would have saw you. That man gonna see you no matter what you got on. I'm just gonna put that out there. So they bring the mayor. Everyone lines up outside. I was actually, who I was surprised I did not see there was Dr. Antoinette. I would have thought for sure she would have been there, and maybe she was, and we just didn't see her. Maybe she was, but I highly doubt Carlos would have ruined the opportunity not to show her on camera because he really likes Dr. Antoinette. JJ could deny them kids even if he wanted to. Them genes are present, and I'm telling you, it is so scary. Like they look exactly like him with some hair. Like they look exactly like him. That is so like, damn. Like I wonder if he would have had a son, what his son would have looked like.
He did have a son.
Did he?
I
I thought that
thought
was
their son passed away.
I thought that was just Selena's son. I didn't know that was his two son too.
Oh, I'm not sure. Hell,
No,
I don't know
I
what.
think that's just her son from a previous relationship. Because I thought JJ said he didn't have any boys.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Who knows? I can't keep up with these people, child.
If y'all know, put it in the comments if y'all know if JJ and if Selena's son was JJ's son. Because I thought that was a son from a previous relationship. At least that's what I thought she said. I could be wrong. She was on some shit where they were talking about grieving and stuff and losing kids, and she mentioned her son. So I don't know. But I don't care one way or the other. I just would be really curious. But after Tambra was hyping the crowd, telling them to buy stuff, they then go over to the restaurant. And when they go over to the restaurant, everyone pretty much gets there. Willie and Aikisha get there very late. They're like 3 hours late. And so they all sit down. And when Glenn changes clothes, he comes back into the restaurant all happy because, remind you, it's his birthday today. So he approaches the section where Willie and Aikisha were sitting down. And Willie said, "Hey, man, happy birthday," and try to, give him a handshake. And Glenn just kind of slapped his hand down like this. And I was like, oh, okay. And I said, and see, that right there is really what started this, is that right there. If we want to, put context to things, because he didn't have to do all of that. It's your birthday. Why would you want to give that kind of energy? So he goes and sits next to Cliff, and they're back and forth, tee hee hee, and about, how they have the better looking wives and they look better than Aikisha and everything. And Willie is kind of hearing all of this, and he goes, "What y'all talking about over there?" And I don't know what got into Cliff. I don't know what happened in this moment. But he goes, "I ain't saying nothing about you, man. I'm just saying, I don't like you." And he's really putting inferences on the fact that he does not like Willie. And Keisha just sitting there like, "Oh wow, like they really mature and all this kind of stuff." Just kind of throwing subtle shade. Now y'all know I don't like Keisha. I don't. I don't like her. I didn't mind her this season because she really has not done anything yet that made me feel like, okay, I just really can't deal with her. But her first season, she wasn't likable. She just wasn't. But they were really like, Cliff was on one. He was just talking about, "I don't like you," and all this, and then he talking about, you know, "You ain't got no nuts," or some shit he was saying. It was just really crazy. So it starts to get hyped because Willie didn't had it up to here, and all you saw was everybody standing up. You saw Letitia talking about, "Keisha, what's up? What's up? I know you ain't talking about that, bitch." And then you see Aikisha going off as well. And then they had Glenn standing up on something, or someone picked up, something happened, but Willie charged and almost got to him. And then they ushered Glenn away very easily. Like, I don't know how that man did that, but it was very, either Glenn was running backwards or that man was strong as hell because they easily got him. And it was just, and then you saw people in the crowds jumping up, fighting. It was just crazy. And poor Latrice, she said, "This is my business, y'all. This is my business. Why would y'all do this here? My business." And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I did feel bad. I did feel bad because I was like, that is her shit, y'all.
No, that's her and her husband's business. That's what Taste is. Goddess Lengths is hers. But Taste is her and her husband's business, which is where all of this went wrong. DM Rocks, I figured something happened before this in the
Hmm.
scene because it was cut and chopped up, and I kept catching people on the sidelines trying to interfere and argue with the bells. But I don't feel bad for Latrice. Bitch, you should have checked your husband. Why are you coming at our guest at our event, our pre grand opening, while the mayor is here? I would have told my husband, don't argue with these people. If it's really that deep, we could put them out. But what we're not going to do is sit here and have an argument with them. Latrice, in order for me to feel bad for you, you would have had to have tried to do something. She let her man act a fool. I'm not saying you have to have control of your spouse. I don't have control of my spouse, but we should have at least seen her saying like, "Hey, okay, okay, babe, like chill out, relax, relax, let it go, stop arguing." She didn't try to do nothing. She sat there with wide eyes, looking like Solange's cousin, confused. So I don't feel sorry at all for Latrice. At the same time, I also don't feel bad for Cliff or Glenn We don't care that it's your birthday, Glenn. No shade. We really don't care that it's your birthday. We really, as an audience, barely don't like you because of how you tried to do your wife season after season. But I did find it very strange that Glenn was getting so heightened based on Cliff's behavior. Like, why are y'all that close? That look weird to me. That looks weird.
You know
But
what? And
then with Willie and Aikisha, they not innocent either because
no.
you supposed to try and calm your nigga down. You're not supposed to be in his ear, heighten him up. Aikisha, you could have also took
Well,
Willie and been like, clearly we're not welcome here, so let's just go.
well, first of
But
all, this is what made Aikisha a clown for me. You already know Letitia's not on your level. You
right.
know she's jealous of you. You know she's jealous of that Ferris Street shit. I would have gloated my entire ass off up in that thing if this was me and my husband talking about stuff. Y'all, she's just jealous because look at her. Look at the top of her head. I'd be jealous too. Like, I'm just saying, that's me.
Look at her husband.
Look at her husband,
Hell.
his goofy ass. Like, I'm sorry. I would have been laughing because that shit was comical to me. The way she got up and said, Aisha, what's up? What's up? I'm looking at her like, girl, you know, you and that $30 wig don't sit your ass down somewhere, like, for real.
I
Like,
do feel like in a fight though, Letitia will win.
yeah.
However, like I know everybody's got their sides. I looked at everybody involved, like they all handled it wrong. Latrice didn't check
Mm-hmm.
nobody. Cliff and Glenn was acting like boyfriends that was being petty and catty, starting crap. Glenn, you could have shook that man's hand, especially if someone's telling you happy birthday. Why are you gonna be disrespectful with somebody being polite? But then Aikisha, you could have calmed your husband down and you flip every season at the reunion. But as for Mr. Big Willie, if you don't want these men to feel a way about you, then stop talking so much crap about them season after season after season while acting like you're really supportive. But I also feel like Cliff and Glenn, if you really mad at Willie because of how he's been treating you, then you should have kept that energy with him all the time. Why are
Right.
y'all just
Why
now
y'all breaking
suddenly
bread with him?
acting like you're fed up? So to me, everybody involved looks stupid, but I cannot fault Letitia because she gonna stick beside her husband, especially if a female's arguing with him. And I can't fault Aikisha because she also was just sticking beside her partner. But everybody talk about everybody, so they did too much to me.
I just feel like because they can't come at him in the same instance, because one, Cliff is probably just as successful as Willie is. Like, just putting that out there. I feel like Glenn's intimidated. That's the only reason why he does what he does.
Yep. He needs to
And
get a job.
yes, and like for me, and that I feel like that was the whole reason why he wanted to go into entrepreneurship is because he's not equally yoked with the other men on the show. He's not. He's not equally yoked with JJ. He's not equally yoked with Cliff, and he's showing equally yoked with Willie. So of course, it's going to what you saying? He really was that man used to play football. That man could have tackled his way. He was really toning that shit down for
If he
cameras.
wanted to come for them, he could have.
He would have knocked them all down like some dominoes. It would have went brrr, just
The
like that.
only thing for me though that I'm faulting Willie for, just walk away. You're clearly not welcome at this event. The people clearly don't like you, so why stay there? They stayed longer than they needed to. But I do agree that Glenn is definitely super jealous. I think of multiple people in the group. I think his wife is also. But after this, I'm just like, Glenn,
No, it was like
go
Keith.
away. Go away.
No, we got what you talking about. So, they say when we got you. But they should have left. But when they were trying to leave, it was Akeisha. See, I tried to be nice. I tried. They got me fucked up. Da, 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 da. I was like, oh my god, girl, get your ass in the damn car. Them is some clowns. Like I
So
really
cute.
have really
So
some
Gucci did what I would have go get in the car. I Keisha.
right.
It's like so Gucci, you finally said something I could agree with. Why are you outside just yelling? If you're not gonna do nothing, then shut the hell up, get in the car, and go home with your husband. Cause
I
you're doing
mean,
all that yelling like you're gonna fight, but you're not gonna fight. So just get in the
thank
car,
God they
Keisha.
don't have a Belle Collective in Oakland because I'm telling you, Akeisha the type that would get in her Tahoe and drive right through the motherfucker. I'm telling you. Because I've seen it before. That's how they act at our hotel. They look, they do. Like, hold on, what you say? All Willie had to say was Blue 42 Hut. Oh,
He would have bulldog. He was big as hell. They moved Glenn away so fast. The two men that
Oh, no, it was the
supposed
way the man did
it
it
was
though. It was
fast.
I laughed so hard. That man literally just said like
And
to the
all you see was Glenn's legs. All you see was Glenn's legs dangling in
I
the air.
I said, wait a minute, was Glenn running backwards? Like, how did that even happen? Even happen? Like, I'm still trying to figure that out.
Glenn
Y'all,
is a clown, though. I never liked him, but he's like Glenn
I
is.
don't
This is
Glenn.
for me. He can't redeem himself. People
No,
open. The mayor was at this event. Do better, black people. The mayor was at this event, and
that
this is
was
where you choose to act the fool.
he has since. Oh, that was the one that passed. So at this
Oh
time, he had not
wow!
passed. Oh wow. Oh, my heart goes out to him. He was actually kind of cute too.
Damn, James.
I'm sorry, rest in peace. I'm sorry. I was not, no, I was noticing, because I'm not really, I'm not into Southern like I should be. I really not. Yeah, he did say I'm here. That shit cracked me up. But
Said
maybe
y'all live rent free. I live rent free in your head. He said I need to start charging y'all. What it was, I think why Glenn and Cliff got mad. Willie started reading them for filth.
to
They
me,
started
okay,
it, and
I
I
feel
don't think
like
they expected for him to like actually respond that way. Like it seemed like they picked a fight to a certain extent with Willie, just in my opinion, because I don't think they thought that he would ever like stand up and do nothing. But
I don't understand as big as he is and what he used to do. Like he tackled men for a living. Like I don't understand how y'all would think that fighting y'all would be any more exempt than that. Like that's crazy to me. Like that just goes to show you how well they think because it's not very well at all.
well, no, Cliff was just talking crap with his words, and even Cliff said to Glenn at the end of it while Glenn was outside, like, "Hey, man, you got to be cool. You can't just be putting your hands on something." But Cliff has something to lose, so I feel
Exactly. I
like,
think that's why he said that. I don't think he
yeah,
was saying that in that moment. I don't think he thought that Willie was going to approach. But as I said, it was Glenn that was antagonizing him the entire time. And
hmm
he was trying to realistically just show him love on his birthday. Like Willie, for the most part, yeah, he may have said his little shit about Glenn's music or lack thereof, but he still was trying to meet him in the middle of somewhat being cordial.
yeah,
It's
he was.
Glenn.
There was no need for anything to escalate. They were being hypersensitive. Honestly, Glenn and Cliff was acting like some bitches. They was acting just how females would act because it didn't even
So
make no sense.
DM Rocks asked a question. Do you think Latrice's nephew phone is at Akeisha house because Latrice did the location thing and it was there? I don't know. I don't know how that could have happened or if that isn't necessarily true. I'm gonna say allegedly to protect my channel. But what I will say is if how long did he pass from this day to the actual day that he passed? Because could it have been a situation to where the nephew was breaking up fights that maybe she grabbed the wrong phone at the time of the moment and not knowing that that was her phone? Like you just never know. Like you never know how these situations could happen. Or does she know the nephew personally? And what
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the problem with Carlos King shows, though. All
yeah,
the actual stuff that we need to see to have full understanding, he never films or edits in. So it's
yeah,
like
that's
to
what
me,
it,
the phone thing isn't fully relevant
it
because
isn't
it's
because
like
I'm trying
it's
to figure out that
likely
could have
something
happened.
they
That, yeah,
already fought.
yeah, that could have happened at any point. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't understand. Like there's more to that story, DM Rocks, that I feel like we're missing as
Yeah,
far as what came out and what was there. We're missing a lot of key components in that because that still does not negate, you know, like some sort of cause of action if there is a like reasonable position of how that could have happened.
I will say though, James, I feel like everybody involved in the little brawl does owe an apology at the very least to
Yes.
Latrice, even though Latrice should have checked her husband to prevent any of it from starting. Like Glenn, you definitely owe an apology. You don't slap somebody's hand down. Letitia and Aikisha, you always acting a fool, egging your men on. Like, so I feel like they all do owe her an apology, Cliff included, but I'm just kind of over the whole situation. Like
Mhm.
Glenn and Letitia, in my opinion, are why you have to be careful with the type of people you put on the show and really truly make sure that everybody matches up in terms of where they're at in life. Because I feel like Glenn and Letitia have a habit of becoming jealous of everybody in some way.
So
And
they
it's
say,
just like,
man, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Bessa. It was delayed on me. You kind of went silent for on my side for a minute. I'm sorry.
no, I mean, even if she was speaking a certain way the day after, they ruined her event. Was right is right and was wrong is wrong. If you ruin somebody's event, apologize.
So here's the thing. I didn't know what Latrice and Letitia were talking about because I was too focused on Letitia's wig in this scene.
I can't with you.
So I don't know what they were talking about. Um, I do want to say this though. It was Aikisha talking about I tried to be nice, and then I just can't believe it. Like they wanted all the smoke. I don't have no respect for Latrice. I don't have no respect for Letitia. Those two could kick rocks. I'm done. That's all we got out of Aikisha. So we get this scene out the way. But no, I don't remember. I was too busy looking at like she literally looked like she had a mop on her head. Like I don't know where Letitia was going with
Well,
this.
Letitia's outfit and everything just was a disaster. It was all a disaster. And yes, Cliff did help with the foolery. That's why I say he owes an apology to his wife as well. Everybody do. They all acted a fool. But as for Letitia's outfit, yes, that's what I'm saying. Cliff, he owes his wife an apology. He does. Will he give it to her? I don't know. It looked like Latrice ain't gonna get an apology from nobody. But the cast has a habit of blaming Latrice for things sometimes that aren't entirely her fault. All she could
Right.
have told is tell her husband, please don't act that way. And we know he probably wouldn't have listened. Everybody
He
was
listens to
wrong.
her anyway, so I don't understand why they expect her to be able to control this man who is like 25 years her senior. Like she can't
Exactly.
control that man. She can't tell him to stop.
I mean,
She,
no, she can tell him to stop. That's what pissed me off with Latrice. Like, why are you letting your man start all this mess at an event that's supposed to be
you,
important to you as a businesswoman? If I have the city's support when I'm opening a business and people are acting a fool and my husband's a part of it, whether he paid for the business, built the business or not, Negro, be quiet. Stop acting that way. Go home. Like you're not gonna ruin that. So she should have checked her husband. But even if she did, he wouldn't have listened. Cliff gonna do what he wanna do. The way he wanna do it, with who and when. It's just a fact.
yeah, I agree. I agree. So that was pretty much the episode, y'all. It was a really good episode as far as actually having some drama. We're finally getting into the reunion. Everybody looks crazy. So I think I might pull get reunion looks for y'all together to see who we like, who we don't like, and
Are we
everything.
actually gonna like? Because it seems like a lot of stuff is being said that's not coming from the reunion. I'm like, are they actually gonna show stuff? And I can't believe it's the end of the season either because Love and Marriage Huntsville is a terrible show. I don't care how anybody feels about it. Every season, every episode, we talking about the same stuff. The people don't tell the truth, and they seem to get these long, drawn out seasons, mid-season breaks, and all of this crazy stuff. Love and Marriage Huntsville's been on James since the summer, damn near, and I'm trying to figure out when it's going off in a way. But Belle Collective only got 8 episodes. It's like, why?
So yeah, I agree. But the problem is with this, I feel like they're trying to cut loose ties to what happened, previously before. And I think that's why they're having a reunion. And one, it doesn't make sense because we see Dr. Antoinette shows up to the reunion. Doesn't make sense because, from my understanding, she doesn't even live in Jackson anymore. So that's from my understanding. This is all alleged. I heard she lives in Fort Lauderdale. That was from my understanding. Someone actually told me that directly, saying which is great for her if she's opening her business practice in South Florida because it's actually easy because everybody is at the dentist in South Florida. So it actually would behoove her to be there. So but I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know about this show anymore. Like this is starting to get ridiculous that we're already at the reunion where I feel like a lot of shit happened after they started filming. Um, yeah, yeah. But we'll see. I mean, hopefully they clear up a lot of things that the I think because he's actually from there. I think that, yeah, he's actually from. He lives in Atlanta now, but I think he's because he's from there. I know he knows Latrice personally. I know because he did an interview with her on his channel. So, and she's talking about Scotty by Nature for anybody who's questioning who Scotty is. She's talking about Scotty by Nature, who I actually really love a lot, have a lot of respect for here on this YouTube. He's one of the people that actually inspired me to get a YouTube channel. So shout out to Scotty by Nature TV. Love you to death. So I don't know. Um okay. But yeah, I was pretty much it, y'all. That's a crazy ass episode. I'm not on
We
anyone's
need
side.
to
I
get rid
don't
of
like
Letitia and Glenn because they declassed this show.
I want them to stop fronting. If you don't got it, you don't got it. Like I don't understand why we have to.
I don't think Glenn will ever. I'm
Right.
gonna say this politely. I
So
don't see him ever like becoming mature enough to be someone that we could respect on this show. And Letitia, I think deep down is actually jealous of everybody and is too phony. And after seeing the pork chops and the canned corn in the skillet, I don't. They declassed the show. I don't want them to come back. I'll take Marie over Letitia and Glenn.
sadly, I would too. Actually, that's sad because I don't like Marie either. I don't like any of them. They don't have anybody that's likable on this show. Carlos, I need you to recast. I need you to recast because I don't like any of them.
And I heard
One
So
person I'm
Gucci
really
wasn't
okay
coming
with,
back.
huh?
So Gucci, I heard she wasn't coming back.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard there was a lawsuit or someone filed a lawsuit against. There was an alleged thing about Carlos filing a lawsuit against Gucci. I don't know how that is, but we'll see. I'll keep my ear out for that one because I just heard about it. I'm gonna say allegedly to protect my channel because I don't have any information on that. But the only person I really didn't have a dislike for because she hasn't been on the show long enough is Selena. That's the only other person that I did not have a dislike for because she still hasn't done anything. She just got here and already is at a reunion. They only had 6, 7 episodes. Ain't this crazy, y'all? This is crazy. But that was it. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here because I got to leave y'all. But thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate it. That was fun. One more time for the bishop, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all go and support the bishop. Make sure y'all understand that sometimes being on TV ain't easy. But we love you, Bishop, nonetheless. Thank you for giving us this entertainment. We appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next recap. Tomorrow will be Love and Marriage Huntsville. And then on Monday, we will have on my channel Married to Medicine and Real Housewives of Potomac. So I do want to do a popular opinion on Martell Holtz and Tim and Ariane did an interview with the hairdresser, I believe. I'm going to watch that and see what I think about it because I'm assuming that's his response to Tisha instead of saying no, it isn't true. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm gonna give y'all some lives, y'all. I really will. But thank you once again. I appreciate everyone in my comments. Thank you also. Shout out to Bitch They Winning and DM Rocks for giving us some tea that we didn't know we needed, but we got it anyway, and we're so grateful for you. And I'll see you guys on next time. Bye bye.